Are you staying for this turret? It was kind of risky. Are you gonna die here for it?
I think I break some ankles. I'm not sure. Yeah, I got out.
Okay,
Juked him.
that's nice.
Or did I? Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh shit in my pants. So I have a general question because this is only the second time I've actually ever gotten coaching done. And
Mhm.
is it better to look at a game where you did like complete ass, or is it better to look at a game where like you performed well? Kind of like thinking in the concept of like refining your skills, or should you be looking at where you didn't do so well?
If it was me, I would not choose either a game where I'm hard stomping the enemies or I'm being hard stomped. I would choose something like a medium game. I'm doing decent, but I'm still like losing maybe a bit.
So I guess like another question while we're waiting that I have is that currently the this account I'm gold 1 I think now about with
Mhm.
plat 4 MMR. Plat 4 to plat 1, what are the main mistakes that they make when they're growing or getting into diamond?
Maybe the biggest mistake is their like CS per minute, for example, because they don't really farm well like plat
Mhm.
players. But for you, you have like 7 um, CS average like on min, which is very good. So that's not the case with you. Probably it's like trading properly on lane because they go for stupid trades sometimes. They don't position their self too much on lane.
Now usually before like you get into a game, what do you usually look for? Do you look for certain team comps, or should you be deciding what your win condition is? So like in this game, what would my win condition be? Should I be trying to
Well,
stomp my lane or
usually that's I have seen that like people do that. And I don't say it's bad, but usually like I don't have any plans for the game until I see how my enemies are playing or like my teammates. Uh, but I mean on this lane, uh, since you didn't leash, you kind of came back late
mm-hmm.
for this lane. But since you're playing versus Rengar, you want to secure pushing usually early game
Okay.
because this way he won't be able to jump onto you from the bushes. So yeah, you should have just like went straight towards the lane so you can like take the minions basically.
Okay. The other thing that I was thinking was that is that his level 1 isn't it a lot stronger than mine is because he has the access to the bushes. So I was trying to wait for level 2.
Yeah, but if you wait for level 2, he starts controlling the wave because he's pushing it non-stop with jumping from the bushes basically.
Gotcha. I'm glad I got to relive me farming that under turret because I just cringed so hard.
Right now, you don't really have a choice. Uh, you just right now, where do you want the wave to be? Do you want to be like under turret, or you want to be like pushing, like getting the prio back? What do you aim for right now?
Well, considering Zach is top, but he's kind of low, I would kind of want to stay close by, right? Or closer to my turret, try and freeze it. Because I don't really have much health and I don't want to go farther up into the bush.
Okay. What about if you were like full HP?
If I was full HP, then I'd probably want to go more aggressive because my repost is up. And then
Okay.
after he does his combo, I could probably all in him.
Yeah. The thing is that like, if you wanted to let him like, no, I mean, if you wanted to get back the priority of this lane right now,
Mm-hmm.
what would you be doing currently?
Uh, Fast pushing.
Well, the thing is that this is something like people that think wrongly, because like right now he has a bigger wave than you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing more damage to the wave. Let me come back a little bit here. Yeah, as you can see, he starts damaging the wave much earlier than you are, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore like he has more damage onto the wave itself. And he's gonna like continue going for this. Instead, since he's always damaging it, you kind of do a mistake here. Uh, is, Instead of going in, because let me go back a little bit again. See, like here, he's trying to push it towards you, but
Mm-hmm.
what you do is like you go in and start hitting the CS. So I'm gonna show you like here. You see, you start doing more and more hits on this one as well. if you want to regain priority, you should not do that. Because, like, if you just let him push into you, if he's already pushing in, he's like he jumped from here to the wave. He's like, as you can see, he's constantly being jumping on the minions. So he definitely is pushing the wave right now. So if you just let the minions like this and like only go for last hits instead of constantly hitting the wave, you'll get pushed in under turret much faster. Therefore, it's gonna bounce back much faster. So this way, when it bounces back here, you can now play for the prio, the wave. Something else that should look on uh, is where the jungler started. We want to know where the enemy jungle is, so we're gonna do a tracking basically. We want to know where he will be. So right now he started bot side,
Mm-hmm.
so that means at around 3 minutes, uh, 3 minutes, yep, he should be somewhere around top lane. So let's check real quick. Yep. Um, because when he starts bot lane, I mean bot side here with the red buff,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what he does is like if he goes for a full clear of the jungle. In this case, he did not, but in like most cases, that's what people do. Um, you take it at around 245. Like the timer is 245, 248, something like that. It's in that range. With most junglers, some junglers have a very like Kartos has faster clear than that, but still. So after that, because you know they started around this area, if they don't go for a gang, they will start transitioning to the next side, and like I think he took blue frog and then went to your red and crocs eventually. Usually, whenever he goes to the other side, since we said it takes him around 240, right? 2 minutes
Mm-hmm.
40 seconds to clear this. That means he'll be starting to like pad towards top lane if he doesn't go for gank anywhere. And since we already know that it takes him around 2 minutes 40 second timer, we can like just um the buffs spawn at 127 or 28, I think 128, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if we take that time out of 2 minutes and 40, we can like see that it takes him around 1 minute and 20 seconds to clear one side, right?
Okay.
So therefore we know how much time basically we have left until like he shows up. And since he left this camp here, like he left raptors and crooks, like we had just a couple of seconds left because before he could start ganking us, because he's still clearing our camps. Just try to check where the enemy top laner is, juggler is. Try to track him. I mean, you cannot track him 100%, because like you don't have vision to be like extremely sure in what you're thinking.
Yes.
But you see, like I knew he was gonna be top lane. I didn't know that he'll be here. I thought he'll be like on the blue or the gromp, but
Mm-hmm.
I knew that he will be top lane, so that's quite enough for you. You can start trading with him since you have the bigger, yeah. When you have the bigger wave, you don't have to be like worried about going in a little bit more aggressive, because he had like a very big wave and he had
Mm-hmm.
almost no minions, so you can use those moments to just damage the enemy.
Yeah.
But try to have like W on you when you're
Yeah.
trading with Ringer, because otherwise it's gonna be hard for you. We see that Vi is bottling, so we have around like let's say 30-40 seconds until she's gonna start to come towards top. So around like 7 minutes, we should be aware that that Vi is gonna be on top lane.
I just keep trying to like hold the wave in front of my turret, just because I'm trying not to. I was just trying to farm out the lane
Yeah, I
basically
mean,
because he was just
yeah,
harassing the shit out of me the whole time, jumping like halfway across the lane, and yeah.
yeah, that's good. Like if you don't want to fight, if you just want to farm up, that's a good idea.
I think at this time my main thought was that like he was healing a lot faster than I was based on vitals, and his cooldowns are a lot shorter than my repost is. So
Mhm.
my main goal was just to get Ravenous before any sort of trading, so that way I can have some healing as well. So I'm pretty sure that's what was going through my mind at this point. Was just to farm out, get Ravenous.
Yeah, I mean, this lane is kind of not in your favor, but when you get like a little bit of items, you start stomping him. So it's good. Like if you don't, if you should not risk it that much,
Mm-hmm.
so you can just play it safe, like you do right now. I mean, both playstyles, like either pushing or freezing, are good. The bad thing about freezing is though, like if let's say your team is losing, when you're pushed under turret, you cannot go for rotations. You cannot like in most situations you won't be killing the enemy top laner because he's pushing you always.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like it slows down your
Snowballing.
go
Uh,
yeah gold earning process basically. So
uh-huh.
if your team is hard inting, for example, it will be much harder for you to carry the game if you play it slowly. However, like if you don't have the choice, you should go like with the slow gold income than like no gold income at all.
I know this is just like breaking all the rules here, but at, if I'm doing a game where I'm like freezing it under turret like this because I'm getting harassed too much, should I be spam pinging for my jungler to like gank? Because I mean, he's he's very
Um,
vulnerable being this far pushed up, almost the full 8 minutes of the game. Should I be pinging and asking for assistance, or like because we can see that my jungler didn't make any attempt at ganking somebody who was
um,
like this.
Usually, at the current state of the game, bot lane is a little bit more important than top lane is.
Mm-hmm.
So if your mid and bot is winning, and you're the one that has to like play a little bit from behind, you just have to make sure that you don't int the lane.
Okay.
You just want to make sure that you're playing it correct, like slowly, you don't die much, and then you probably will secure a win. Because right now mid and bots are a little bit more important because of the Drake being there. So it's focused more around bot lane right now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, some games you have to like let it go and like just try to play as safe as you can. Try not to like play too aggressively when you have already like secured a very good lead. Your
Mm-hmm.
mid and bot winning. Um, so just don't try to play as like very aggressively. Like get your lead and by like slowly taking CS.
I believe I was staying just a little bit longer, so that way I could
Yeah,
TP.
right here. What you should have done is, since he's still there, right? You
Yeah.
could have waited a couple of seconds more, so you can see if he's gonna come and take the wave or he's gonna recall. If you see him coming taking the wave, you can just let him push to the tower, like I told you a little bit earlier. So this way, the tower is gonna help you get it, and like you might recall in time and not lose the next wave. Like not lose as much minis from the next wave. You're gonna like lose a bit.
Okay.
Um,
I think the reason why I left was because I didn't have my repost. I had barely any mana, and my teleport was up in a couple
Mhm.
seconds. So I was just trying to get back, make sure again I didn't give free gold.
I'm pretty sure you had around like 1k gold right now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more. Uh, Even if you did not like have low HP and like only low mana and like no gold used, uh, you wanted to like go for that recall because right now I think the next wave is cannon. Yep. So what you should have done is here instead of like pushing in, like I told you, because this way if he's pushing in and you're pushing in, you're basically gonna get the wave slow, moving slower than it would be moving if only Ringer was pushing, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just let him crash it, you can take it on your turret and then you can recall. Since it's cannon wave, the wave dies slower, so therefore you can maybe catch more minions out of it,
Okay.
and you won't have to burn your TP. That's why like a lot of like laners recall before the cannon wave because it's the healthiest and they can like get in time. to take it after the recall.
I'm pretty sure also here I wanted to do that because I saw Zach was coming in, which he's jumping on Rangar right now, but my TP was up like 3 seconds too late. So I think I was trying to get back so we could force the gank on Rangar.
Okay, I see.
Would that still be a situation where I shouldn't even go for it? Like
Well, I mean,
wasting my teleport?
since he's there, you could have gone for it, but the idea of the TP was kind of bad because like um let's go back to it real quick.
Sorry if I'm overanalyzing.
No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm sorry for the background noise, but
No, it's all good. Yeah, because I saw he was in the tri bush, or he was near the tri bush, and I saw he was about to jump in.
I wanted to check something, but I okay,
I
yeah, like here as you saw, since basically if do you see my cursor right
Yeah.
now? If I'm sitting here and I see someone TPing like right here, I won't be staying near him so he can damage me, right? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
back off. That's the same thing with like Rengar. You could have just walked your way to lane because like when he sees you TP, he will immediately go back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if, however, you could have pressed TP.
On one of the minions that were closer.
No. If you could have TP'd when Zac was fighting with him and like stunned him and knocked him, probably you could have made it on time. But since here, like you first, you don't have a ward or a minion behind him to TP on.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you don't have anyone fighting him that can hold him, so you can like TP and get onto him on time. So like the TP was kind of a waste
Mm-hmm.
right here because you could have walked to the lanes to like manage to get the CS.
Yeah. It's probably just my primal top lane mind wanting to grasp my only gank of the game.
Yeah, well, maybe that's it, but you should like think a little bit more on such rotations because let's say uh, you could have used that on TP on like Drake or bot lane. Since
Mm-hmm.
you cannot really contest Drakes, uh, if you are pushing, uh, you can push in the lane and then go let's say bot lane for the Drake. You can walk to it, right?
Yeah.
But since you are getting pushed in this game, going bot lane is not really like possible because if you go bot lane, you're being pushed in. You lose most of the minions. Like you can lose 2 3 waves, maybe even more, maybe even the tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
While if you have TP, you can like immediately go there, like force real quick, and like then come back. So that's why it's very important for Drakes, especially when you're having no prio. This was a little bit too greedy right there.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you keep trying on like getting the prior back, but if you don't get tab ice, you cannot really fight him, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
unless you like outplay him. Because like he's very like strong, and he only dashes in between, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard for you to like do your combo and stack your conqueror on him. And like especially queuing near the bushes is very bad because this way you queue in, but you don't have vision on him, so like you cannot follow up by a base attack or something.
Mm-hmm.
So then he can return back onto you. And since he's a level above you, you should just like try to look for other ways to fight. What I can recommend is when he's on the minions, like let's say you see a low HP minion, okay? You know he's gonna jump over it from the bush, right?
Yep.
So when he jumps, you can like prepare yourself to go for Q. And this way, like every time he jumps in, you Q him, you Q him, you Q him. Eventually, you get some HP out of his HP bar.
Mm-hmm.
So this way, you can secure like damaging him without like losing HP. Because if uh, he's jumping on a minion or something, he cannot switch over to you midair. So he cannot respond back to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is so good. So you can do that if you want to trade with him. Other than that, you can just let him push. Yeah,
I
but that
missed so
way.
many. Yeah, I missed so many reposts this match.
Yeah, he ends up killing you both.
He's so slippery, especially with Phage and his jump that like it's so hard to grab him with my repost.
Oh,
I'm also noticing here that Zach is always there, like right after I'm dying. So I guess it's just me being bad timing with my deaths that it's by the time that he rotates top.
I mean, this one you could have won it if you just hit that W right there.
Yeah.
Like if you
Or
hit
if I
your
hit my vitals on my ult properly,
yeah,
not like
yeah,
an
yeah.
ape.
Um, this is like a micro mistake that you can go over with. It's really dependent to you. Like you have to practice those stuff. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
practice to or like just playing a ton shit of games. You should just try to like um
This is a bit of a wasted teleport, I feel, but I think we secured Dragon up anyway.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it could have been a little bit later because like your team has a number advantage there, so the chances they die are like very low.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think you should have just waited a little bit, and the flash was unnecessary.
I believe I knew here I was dead. Yeah, because I didn't see anyone else on the map. I was like, I'm probably getting jumped. It was just too delayed of a reaction.
So in situations like this where when you don't have any vision around you, and you don't see any of the enemies, what you could have done is, because like I saw you here a little bit earlier, I wasn't gonna note that off. You push in the wave, and then you come back and wait for the next one to get pushed in.
Yeah.
Instead, what you can do is like you can start freezing. So like next wave comes in a little bit later, like a little of maybe a few seconds after you push the wave, the first one, right? So instead of the wave moving like this, I'm gonna like show the wave in a circle. So basically, instead of it being with such distances in between, see like the distance is very long.
Mm-hmm.
Because you kill it fast, then you wait for the next one. It can be even bigger. Just really, it matters how fast you push the wave. Instead of being that, it could have been like something like this. You see, like it could be over like capturing. I mean, like when one of the waves is like going to die, next one comes in. You see,
Yeah.
so you're gonna catch much more waves this way.
So basically, if I'm slow pushing it, the waves coming from the base are gonna meet quicker than the waves coming from our base. So that's gonna start
Yeah.
accumulating a bigger wave, and it's gonna be pushing a lot slower.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Exactly.
in that situation, though, would I still want to be doing that? Because we had absolutely no vision. And the reason I was waiting in the bush was that since we had no vision and I saw my team was going for Baron, um, I was thinking, okay, one, they might go towards Baron, but two, I kind of wanted to show my face so that way I took pressure off of that side of the map. So,
I mean, if
would
you're
I.
like
You can
if
go.
you're slow pushing that, you're like still showing your face, right? You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be constantly pushing in to like show on the map.
Okay.
So I think you should have done that, and maybe if like they contested Baron here, your team is a lot stronger than theirs. To be honest, they probably would have won a fight on a Baron.
Mm-hmm.
But even if they didn't win it very hard, like since you're on both lane pushing in, and if you were slow pushing, you would have some kind of a build up wave. You could have crashed and get the turret. But this is something like situational. I mean, often like you want to crash in the wave and then look for some place, but right now you cannot really look for any place. So like this was your safest bet
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have any vision around you. If you had vision around you, you can go for deeper, like pushing deeper and like trying to do some other place. Let's see. Okay. Right now, you should try to start Baron, to be honest. Because chasing cat would be kind of hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can eat 2 minions and everything. You could have taken Baron here, so you could have pinged your team to go for it. But other than that, I think this is fine. You staying for this turret was kind of risky. Are you gonna die here for it?
I think I break some ankles. I'm not sure. Yeah, I got out.
Okay,
Juked him.
that's nice.
Or did I? Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh shit in my pants. This was a
Oh,
waste, I think.
this was a bad idea to go in.
Yeah, I think at this time I told my team, I said that our overextending bot lane, I said like we didn't have enough time to reset for dragon, so we shouldn't have done
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, you asked me earlier what kind of problems like plat players have.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems, not only like plat players, but like let's say from like iron to let's say even diamond or like almost like high diamond players. No, actually, I will not say diamond, but like let's say diamond 3, diamond 4 elo players. Um, they go in for fights that are already lost, just so uh, like their team don't flame them afterwards because they didn't join the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this like a lot of my students like I'm asking them why did you join the specific fight, and they're just saying 'cause, like I know that my team is gonna flame me if I don't. If you think your team is being beneficial in how you like make decisions, you should try to mute them.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
and
something I do
also,
often when I'm split pushing, because whenever I'm split pushing and I have TP and I see that we're not winning the fight and I don't TP in, or I get like
yeah,
question mark pings all the time, I just do slash mute all.
yeah, exactly. You should be doing this same thing even when you're like a normal fight happening around you. Like here, for example, you were on a minute disadvantage. Number disadvantage. And you had lower HP. You didn't recall, and it was 100% clear that this was not your fight. This is not the fight you're looking for. So you should have just went back and like leave them die, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
right now, if you were two, maybe you could have tried to like make them like waste some time on the Baron. Eventually, Zach maybe could have come. Um, but like, if you have to choose in between giving 300 or 600 gold to the enemy, you would definitely choose 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you should do in game, basically. Like, you don't want to be playing fights that are like un unwinnable. You should try to take your top lane wave, and then right now you want to crash it, and then maybe look to play with your team. Next wave, that's gonna be like late because you crashed this very fast. So.
I think I'm looking with TP to.
Wow. Why would you go for TP though? It's like you already pushed in the lane. You don't have anything to lose on top lane for a couple of seconds.
Uh,
Since Katar was holding the weight, I'm gonna explain this so very quickly. Can you repeat?
I said rip me to shreds.
Yeah, it's not like very complicated. You're gonna like see it. It's really easy. So let's say you crash the wave here and started pushing towards the turret, right? You see Katarina coming in. She has to like take some time to like kill the wave. So let's say she'll stay for 10 seconds on bot lane. Like, she came from here. She'll like kill it. She'll go backwards or something. Like you have around 10 seconds of free time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you could have done is like push this and then immediately like go through river. You have Zac staying here and you have two of your teammates staying here. You could have joined in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that you're already winning most of the fights, but here you even have number advantage, so it's even bigger. The chances of you losing this fight are like very, very, very low. So with if you did this play, you could have closed out the game. Yeah. It's not very hard. Like you just like when you push in the wave, since somebody's gonna be like here clearing, you
Responding
can
to it just
yeah, you
immediately.
can use the time to go and roam. This way you create number advantage because he's on top while you're in like river roaming.
So should I be? How should I be using teleport then? Because I feel like I might not be using it till its full potential. So instead of in that situation where I push and then look to teleport, I should be pushing and moving So in what scenarios
Well,
should I be using
well,
teleport? When I'm
you
like at
should be
base or?
um you should be teleporting when you cannot like get to the point you want otherwise. So let's say you want to go top lane, you just died, you want to go top lane to get your wave, but it's gonna get crushed into your turret in like 1-2 seconds, so you have to TP to take it, otherwise it loses to the wave, to the turret.
Okay.
This is something. Next thing is like, let's say bot lane is fighting, but you're on top lane. You cannot get to there without like walking like 30 seconds before the play on bot lane happens, but you can't really know when the bot play happens, right?
Yeah.
So you can save it your TP for such situations. Basically, you want to be saving it for situations where you cannot go otherwise without TP. Because let's say
Gotcha.
I can like let's say I can push top lane and then look for a rotation bot lane. But like I cannot like push top like just stay top lane and go at the second the fight happens on bot lane. It's just not possible for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to use TP to go over and help them out. Okay, you TP in. Yeah, I mean it worked out well, but I mean you could have just like came from here, right?
Yeah.
Because you spend like 20 seconds just like staying on lane, but it's fine. It's not like a big deal. It's good that you're looking like for plays, because I see like some top laners are just tunnel vision on their lane and don't look for anything outside of their lane. Right now, you should not be doing the inhibitor, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I was thinking about that when I was doing it. I was like, but it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But in certain
Um.
scenarios, I shouldn't be
Yeah, in
wasting my
certain
time doing
scenarios,
that.
yeah.
Just for quick recap, what you said, like the difference between like plat players, a lot of the mistakes they make are CS, but you said I shouldn't really worry about that too much because my average is 7, right?
You can maybe look to improve it to 7.5, but like
Yeah,
I
like
think you're fine for now. I think it's good.
okay. I should probably work on my wave management, right, between like pushing and being aggressive in lane or being passive in lane, right, with Rangar,
Mm-hmm.
letting it
Mm-hmm.
crash more to my turret.
Yeah. So you can reset it and stuff like that. Yeah. You should just pay a little bit more attention to it, because top lane is a very very big part of top lane is just like wave management.
And then from plat to diamond, what did you say again is like the bigger difference that people make? I'm always trying to look for like the next thing that I should
Mhm.
look for.
Well, I
So,
mean, the difference between plat and diamond is like it's not really that much of mechanics, because most like players have it already. I mean, there is some kind of improvement in mechanics, but it's mostly like macro plays, like decision making, like not joining stupid fights, warding a little bit better, like staying safe to ganks.
hmm
But this is like in a higher diamond, because like I can like I have played in like all the divisions from like iron to like master, like high master.
okay.
um I have played with like pro players as well, but like the only difference, I mean, the biggest difference is like when you reach like around like diamond 1, maybe diamond 2, and like you start playing with master, grandmaster, challenger players.
Okay.
Then that's the biggest like difference in between ranks, because like let's say go to like silver to gold, the difference is not really big. I know players that they don't really have clue what they're doing correctly, and they're still in gold, like
Yeah.
so the difference in between ranks is not that big, but like when you get into a higher and higher level, you're gonna get much more experienced. So because you're playing against a little bit better teammates, and then if you want to win, you adapt. If you don't adapt, you're gonna like basically drop, right? You're gonna drop out of the division. So yeah, it's mostly like decision making, and
Macro and all that.
yeah, it's not like mechanics. It's not that much of mechanics. Something like because I have played a lot of different accounts recently, because I've been in progress for like a half year now, and recently I started like playing different accounts so I can like have some more information about different lanes. And since I'm playing lower elos than my main, I would say that the biggest difference from like let's say a high diamond player and before that is the trading on lane. High diamond players and masters, they really know how to trade on lane. While I spend a lot of time on gold, and I spend on like gold plat elo
hmm
and like low diamond maybe for my smurfs. What I can say about them is like they don't really know how to position themselves on lane. Like if I'm
Okay.
playing ranged versus a melee, for example, the melee champion, like the other guy will just like come close and I can like spam the shit out of him with basic attacks. They don't know how to farm without getting harassed.
Hmm.
So this is a very big, like, their trading on lane is not that good. Like farming on lane without getting damaged. These are the things that they're not very good at least from my experience. Or like I just feel like a lot harder to like out trade a master like or high diamond mid laner than a diamond 4 like under.
What are the general, like, how did you learn your macros, like where you should be around the map at each point in time? What did you do to learn those things? Or was it just playing a shit ton, or did you look towards something else? Because the
Well,
way that I think about League, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's kind of like a very intricate chess game where like each person has to be in a specific spot at a certain time in order for, certain objectives or to counter gang.
you're basically asking me how I improved, right? Is this your
Yeah,
question?
how did you improve your macros?
Well, basically, I watched a lot of First of all, I watched a lot of streamers plays, and I saw a lot of stuff that I implemented into my gameplay from there.
Okay.
Because you can see what they're doing and why they're doing it, and it's really good. So I like recommend watching high elo replays, and of course I have watched my own replays to see what I'm doing wrong. Played a lot, like you can say I played a lot. Because if I'm just playing a lot, I can be playing a lot and be playing normal, so like not like putting my efforts into like learning the game. So like if I'm just only playing a lot, that's not enough. You want to be
Okay.
playing a lot and trying to learn the game.